and welcome to Counterpressed on The Ringer and Spotify. I'm in the studio with Jessy Humphreys and Becky Taylor-Gill. On today's show, we react to the departure of Brian Sorensen at Everton. Where does that leave them now? And then we'll get on to our special episode as we get excited for the Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina. Well, guys, Brian Sorensen kind of ruined the vibe today.
He's killing the vibe. I just want to be excited for the Winter Olympics, Brian. Maybe that's why he was like,
maybe
you know
he needed
what?
to get some time off.
I'll take the redundancy now. I've got things on.
He looks like a man who'd be into the Winter Olympics, actually.
Maybe he wants to compete. Maybe he's making a last-minute run.
Bum, bum, bum.
We will get on to Winter Olympics. That is what we wanted to do today. But first, we do have to talk about what happened on Wednesday as Everton, after beating Aston Villa 2-1 and after making a record transfer at the end of the transfer window, decided to sack Brian Sorensen. The decision was inevitable, but the timing is the weird factor.
That's always it in WSL. It's like, what? Why are you doing this now?
Don't talk about Rene's contract again. I can't hear it.
No, but it's like with Sorensen, it's like you've just given him a whole transfer window and then you've sacked him immediately afterwards when he's just won, by the way. Like that, like it's like maybe that's the beginning of like those things paying off. Obviously, they're crap, but like it's such weird timing. It makes me so mad.
The timing is odd, and I think what is difficult about Everton is they are quite a dysfunctional club. They're obviously in a decent place on the men's side. The women's team move into Goodison. The energy is good. Decent-ish transfer window, but maybe not as strong as they should have had. Ruby Mace was like their big summer signing. They have this winter window. They sign Zara Kramzar from Roma on loan with an obligation to buy for around £250,000, which is a club record fee. Within 24 hours, Sorensen's gone. The issue Everton have really had throughout the years is there's been a lot of promises to various head coaches of additional resource, recruitment support, scouting, all of that in the women's team. It hasn't materialised. You've then got someone like Brian Sorensen who, from everyone I've spoken to who's worked with him, he really does like to lead on recruitment and he likes to kind of be in control, but at the same time, there was meant to be support coming for him. So I think there's a bit of push and pull happening there where there are signings that, you know, the owners want to make who have their own ambitions, signings that the manager wants to make, and a bit of tension around that. And I think, like you say, Becky, we knew this was going to come at some point, but doing it now feels really odd because all the sort of recruitment and time you've put in with him when there were probably multiple chances where you could have, even before he got his last contract, which runs until next year, you could have maybe made this change. And now you're sitting with this squad with an interim coach and you're 4 points clear of the relegation spot anyway, where you're kind of thinking, oh, okay, now we've got to try and put something together for the second half of the season.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the bizarre thing, especially because there isn't relegation. And I think realistically, if you look at the teams around the bottom, I do kind of feel like Everton would have been fine. / I don't think they suddenly are going to be... I don't think they're less at risk as a result of having this interim manager from the academy, I believe.
Yeah, he's from the under-18 boys.
Yeah.
It kind of feels more risky.
Well, yeah, you've now got someone coming in who doesn't know... I mean, I guess whether there were relationships with players that had broken down, there's obviously been this, like, strange Kelly Gargo saga, whether that's something that's to do with Sorensen or whether she just wants to leave, but whether this is something that, you know, if she's fully fit, she can come back in and play a bit more. That's the kind of stuff that I guess it's hard to know from the outside, but it does just sort of scream like... I think for me it's less the transfer window element because I don't exactly know, maybe, you know, like if Kramzar's been a long-term club target and they managed to get that done, that doesn't necessarily really impact on stuff. It's more just funny to sack him after finally winning at Goodison. It's just a really bizarre... I think it just sends like quite an odd message to the group and the squad. And I know it's what you say, Becky. It's like the optics of some of this stuff, just the way clubs go about it, is just really, really odd. Where I'm like, you could have just sacked him the week before and like everyone would have been like, yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
And
it's like, why are we questioning like why you've sacked him? Like, we all know why you've sacked him. Why are we now sat here being like, that was weird?
But it just feels like, well, if you've just got this kind of like momentous win that like really matters to you, like what does that also do to your group of players?
I actually hadn't realised the situation that Everton were in, like in the table, I don't think, until I was sat at Spurs West Ham. And obviously I'm watching that because I'm hoping that Spurs will win, beat West Ham, and Liverpool will win. They didn't, but, you know, keeping West Ham similar points. And when I was looking at the table, and I was like, oh, if Everton lose and we win, like, we'll jump them. And obviously that didn't happen, but I think for me that was a moment of like, oh, I didn't realise like how bad it was for Everton, that like that was a possibility, that us who have won one game all season, like, we could have taken over them. And I think it's maybe a case of like someone at the top of Everton being like, similar position to me, being like, hold on a second.
Are you running Everton? Is this what you're...
running them into the ground?
Becky, it's an interesting point that we've come to before. We talked about that with Brighton, right? When Melissa Phillips was let go and everyone was a little bit surprised. But when Jessy, I remember you speaking at the time of this, it felt like someone had suddenly looked at the numbers and the performances and the roles and thought, hang on a minute. Now, what's really funny about the Brian Sorensen situation is they've been in this position over and over again, but something suddenly forced someone's hand.
They had their first quarter meeting and they were like, right, let's just have a quick fucking look at Everton women. Hold on a second,
Well,
what the hell?
It's giving someone writing that check that they have to post in 6 months' time to Roma and being like, let me just look at like what's going on if I'm going to put this check for 250k, and then being like, whoa. But like, it does feel like that. It does feel like when, and we know that like in a lot of these clubs, like there aren't dedicated people necessarily working on the women's team, or like, you know, there are people who work on the men's team who have ultimate oversight, and it does just feel like they kind of like switch on. Like, I mean, I don't think they've made a terrible mistake, but it just makes you think, it doesn't give you confidence in that going forward they're going to then make the right decisions that are going to like drastically change the fortunes of the club.
And also you look at Hannah Forshaw, CEO, who
in
and out within, you know, space of 5 minutes. They're still recruiting her permanent replacement.
Listen, I'll do it. If you need me, I'll do it.
Becky will go in as secret
I'll
agent
step
and destroy
up- I'll step
Everton
up
from
for
the
my
inside.
city.
Wow.
Merseyside, you need me.
Okay, well, that's enough Everton and Brian Sorensen chat. But I will say, Jessy, what did I write in my notes app?
So what did you say?
I said...
Brian Sorensen must be stopped.
And he was. So there you go.
I would like to shout out a tweet from Harry Edwards, which I enjoyed, which was one AirPods manager down. And I would also like to worry on Sonia Bonpastel's behalf as she becomes behind Mark Skinner, the second longest serving
That is
manager
crazy.
in the WSL, joint with Daria.
I thought you were about to say when she becomes joint with Mark Skinner for the AirPods manager.
Only AirPods manager.
WSL Apple partnership.
Everyone's
It's
an
gotta be
AirPods
something in
manager
it.
now.
Everyone's an AirPods manager. Okay, that is enough Brian Sorensen and Everton chat. Let's talk about the Winter Olympics after this. So,
I'm so excited.
Who likes
the
my
merch.
merch?
It's really good.
So for those who don't yet watch us on Spotify video or YouTube, Jessy is in the pocket of Big Team GB today.
As you should be.
So let me paint the picture. You both are disgustingly leaving me to go to the Winter Olympics.
Goodbye.
Becky is a fan. JPH on duty for the Observer. Very exciting. Your first Olympics.
First Olympics, yeah. Apart from 2012.
Yeah, but as
First
to
Olympics
cover.
as a
Working
grown-up
Olympics, that's so
adults working.
exciting.
And what we've realised is if you go and cover the Olympics as a British journalist, they give you free stuff.
Yeah, I think the FA needs to
Step up.
its game, because I got this lovely polo, I got a beanie hat,
Wow, and you'll need it because
And I'll
it's the
need
Winter
it.
Olympics. It's cold.
and a rucksack.
The backpack is very nice.
Yeah.
I will say.
I can picture it.
So kudos to Team GB.
And I am under the impression from my friends who've covered Olympics and Paralympics that once you get to Milan, there'll be some more merch awaiting for you from the IOC.
I
That's
hope so.
what I think. But keep us posted.
I will update when I arrive.
Please.
Jessy,
do.
if you see any... Right, there's a jumper. It's like a wintry... It's kind of like a Christmas jumper. It's Milan Cortina and it's got some skis on it. If you see any of those going for any less than €70, which is what it is in the shop, you grab one for me and you run.
Okay.
Do you get a discount at the shop?
I'd be surprised. I do think there is a shop in the media centre.
Oh, that's good.
But I'm not certain.
Oh, it's good.
There's like actually quite a lot of shops. I've got a spreadsheet, obviously, and I've got all of the shops in there. There's quite a few.
Question, really important. Is there food in the media centre?
I assume so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Report
excited
back
to
on
hear
that
about
as well.
that.
Yeah.
You know that's one of our favourite topics.
The US Open Media Centre food, that rocked my
Really?
world.
What did you get? I feel like you did tell me, but
It was just like, so you got $25 allowance every day. And they'd have your standard like sandwiches and stuff.
Is that 25 on a subsidised price? Because 25 is actually not that. In the US, it's not actually that
It
much.
was cheaper than like
the main tourist price.
price.
Okay.
First of all, you could get a beer
Ooh,
as part of that. You could get free beer.
Could you get the drink, which is like got the tennis ball
No,
thing?
they didn't.
Oh,
do
the
those.
martini one. That was good. Yeah.
They didn't do those. But you could get like, they do like hot sandwiches, they do like a pasta, and then they do like your kind of standard like a nice piece of meat and veg, or a nice piece of fish. They do burgers, hot dogs,
Oh, I'm
chips.
getting hungry.
It was really really good. I mean, Americans just do it better, and they did like breakfast as well.
You're gonna have so much pasta, I think. I feel
Yeah.
that.
And pizza.
Pasta and pizza. I mean, Italian is like my favourite food.
Yeah.
apart from
Yeah,
Indian
I
food.
could eat that all day long.
Did you see the Parmigiano like curling
Yes.
picture?
Yes.
So good.
Yeah.
So the Winter Olympics kicking off in Milan Cortina in Italy on Friday, but for the real heads, you can watch curling and figure skating now on BBC or Discovery, where depending where you live in the
Turn
world.
the podcast off, go.
Yeah, don't even bother with this. And guys, this is what I'm most excited about. Mariah Carey performing at the opening ceremony in the San Siro with Andrea Bocelli, of course, big
Of
Italian.
course. You can't do anything in Italy without Andrea Bocelli.
No, but that is like, because Celine Dion at Paris was amazing, and Lady Gaga. But this is, I'm excited. Jessy, you're going to be in the San Siro.
I will be in the San Siro, yes. So I'm looking forward to that. I really don't know what to
Free
expect.
Mariah Carey gig.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty sick.
God.
Normally, sadly, I think she'll probably only do one song, which is...
What song do you want to hear?
Ooh. I wonder if she'll do Hero.
Oh.
Because that has Olympic energy.
Yeah, it does. From my all-time favourite film, Prince of Egypt.
Wow,
No, that's a
huge.
different one.
No, it's not. That is that.
The one in Prince of Egypt, Becky, is When You
Sorry,
Believe It, Whitney
you are
Houston.
correct.
And that is a great
That is
shout.
nice.
That
Great
is
song.
really, really good.
There can be
That's good
miracles
Olympics.
That's good
when
Olympics.
you
Yeah.
believe- That's good.
I got goosebumps, though.
Wow. Should I do it?
Well, I mean, Flo is one of the secondary mascots.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the
Get out there.
Olympics.
Which has been discovered through, thanks to Emma Smith, BBC journalist.
Boots
posting
on the ground
Boots
journalism.
on the ground mascot journalism, which is our cup of tea. Basically, Emma Smith realised that the main mascot, Milo and Tina,
Yeah.
they're really expensive. €65
€65
for a
And the
mascot
thing is,
that
I'm going to spend it.
that is madly
The thing is, I
hyped.
just know that I'm going to spend that. I know I'm going to buy it.
And then how much is Flo? So Flo's
I
like
don't
a
know how much
snowdrop.
Flo is, but cheaper.
Yeah.
And there is a request from your partner to get both, I believe.
No.
Wow.
Are you putting your foot down on the stove?
We don't need the stove. The stove's
because she
expensive.
did
What's
text
the
and
stone?
say,
No, but
Jessy.
I don't want it in
What's
my
the
house.
stone?
Stoat.
Stoat.
So
What you
Milo
about?
and Tina
They're
are
stoats.
stoat, which is a sort of what kind of animal?
Like
is
a
it?
mountain creature.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of like a bit like a ferret, but for the mountain.
Yeah. But I'm not vibing with it. Just
Oh,
get
no, I
us
think they're
Flo
cute.
the snowdrop
Okay.
thing.
No stoat.
We don't need the stoat.
Can I
Certainly
just
not
Take
for
it up.
65
Take
euro.
it up with Holly.
The phrase "boots on the ground journalism" now feels really gay to me, just because like boots like is like
Slay the boots.
slay the boots house down. So boots on the ground journalism for me is like you're out there like finding the gay camp shit.
Like,
And
That's
that
boots
is
on the
what
ground journalism.
I will be going
Yeah.
to do.
Well, that leads me on to our first topic of the Winter Olympics, because you've both been on a research mission. Jessy, you've obviously been doing some stories in the lead up to going. One of the really interesting stories that you wrote about in The Observer, quick plug, because I'm duty bound to do plugs for Jessy's work.
And my editor did tell me he listened to the Monday episode. So,
So there we go. But you did a really amazing piece on John Curry, a forgotten British sporting icon, because I didn't know anything about him until you wrote your piece. Tell us a little bit about who he is.
John Curry won gold, and he was the first British medalist in figure skating at Innsbruck in 1976. And he's sort of seen as like an icon within figure skating because he really changed what figure skating was about. Like, before John Curry started skating, lots of it was very sort of physical and formulaic, and you used to have to sort of, as part of figure skating, and Curry had to do this, what you had to do is do all these like figures on the ice.
And then they would come out and look at them, wouldn't they? They'd come out and like look at your...
whether you'd done these like figures of 8 and things like that. So it was very sort of, yeah, like athletic and physical. It wasn't really what we associate figure skating with today, which is being a bit more like dancey and camp. And Curry had wanted to be a dancer and his father hadn't let him. So he became a figure skater instead. But he was very influenced by ballet, and he just sort of felt that you should, like, for example, use your arms when you skated. But he also is very historical because he was outed. This is like an interesting bit of debate. He told a journalist on the day he won gold that he was gay, which was sort of like a open secret anyway. Everyone kind of knew within the figure skating world. And this journalist was working for Associated Press, so it was kind of syndicated around the world. Now, Curry claimed later that he thought they were speaking off the record. The journalist and people who knew Curry think this was him trying to row back on it and that he sort of knew exactly what was going on. So take from that what you will. But he's sort of outed. He does this crazy press conference, which feels impossible to imagine today in some ways, after he's won gold, to like the assorted British press, who are all just like in total shock. So homosexuality had been decriminalised, I think, sort of like 5 to 10 years before. And one of the really cool things when I was putting this piece together for The Observer is we went back and found like The Observer's report
really
from it, which was written by Chris Brasher, who some people might know as the guy who invented the London Marathon as well, but he was The Observer's sports reporter for many, many years. And his piece is beautiful and like not necessarily what, I mean, it's The Observer, I guess so, but like not necessarily what you'd expect. And he sort of writes this thing about how he felt like watching Curry speak about it like made him totally revisit what it means to be a man, and that all of sort of the press back afterwards like almost felt ashamed that they had sort of so much like bias, and even though homosexuality had been decriminalised, they obviously all saw it in this light. Curry won Sports Personality of the Year, and he went on to have a kind of chaotic but good career in figure skating. He sort of set up his own company, which was financially treacherous. But obviously, it being that time, he did catch AIDS, and he kind of passed away in sort of some kinds of obscurity. I can't really quite figure out how obscure he ended up being, because there is like fun things like rumours like Liz Taylor went to visit him. Like, I think for a lot of people he was still this icon. But for example, like when I was talking to my dad about it, he was like, oh, I remember him winning gold, but I had no recollection that he died of AIDS. So he died in 94, I think, at the age of 44. But yeah, like a fascinating life, a very complicated man, a very interesting man. But yeah, a really fun bit of gay history.
Read Jesse's piece, and there's a documentary about him on YouTube.
Yes, there is a documentary, which is worth a watch. And he, like, watching him, and you can also watch his gold medal winning performance, and it is incredible.
I cried.
I love figure skating, and it's the same reason I love gymnastics at the Summer Olympic Games, because there is something really beautiful about how they can bring in the sort of dance, artistic, creative element into the raw physical power and movements that they have to deliver, and it's so camp.
I don't know if when you were researching John Curry, I kind of looked at some older stuff, and it is just like so different. It's so like rigid, and like all the arms are like and it's just, that's what I think is really interesting, is that he wasn't just like a trailblazer for like queer visibility, because he wasn't just the first out Winter Olympian, he was the first out Olympian in Summer or Winter Games, which I think is really interesting. That like I think Winter Olympics has like such a like long gay history that people probably don't know about, but he like changed the way that like figure skating is done, and like all that artistry that you see is like kind of stems from like his like bringing that in. And
what's really fascinating as well is, at the time, obviously it was in the Cold War, and because figure skating is judged, Curry used to say that you would know going into a competition whether you were going to win or not, because you just had to add up how many judges there were from the Eastern Bloc and how many there were from the Western Bloc. And part of what enabled Curry to win not just the Olympic gold, but he won the World Championships that year, the European Championships, was there was a Czech judge who was obviously part of the Eastern Bloc, who basically loved Curry so much and what he was doing, sort of like switcherooed out of this political element. And I think that's like also so amazing that like Curry's ability on the ice was able to transcend like this intractable political conflict that was playing out throughout sport.
Becky, you've also been doing a little deep dive into some Olympic queer history bits and pieces. Tell us about some of the stuff you found. I feel very Blue Peter. Sorry. Show and tell.
It's so gay. The Winter Olympics is so gay.
Is it gayer than the summer one then?
I think it's not as gay as the summer one, just by virtue of like there's much fewer athletes and there's much fewer sports. But the percentage of like gay people winning things at the Winter Olympics is crazy.
I wonder if there's sort of this element which isn't necessarily true for all the Winter Olympic sports, but you get a lot more this idea that people kind of do it and it's almost like a part-time thing. And I wonder how much that you're not in this like 100% sporty cultural environment all the time, how much that maybe like allows queer people to sort of both explore their sexuality outside of sport because they're not doing it non-stop, and then also there's like not the same level of focus, which maybe allows like people to be more open.
As much. There's two really good Wikipedia pages that I recommend to anybody, which is list of LGBT athletes in the Summer and Winter Olympics, and it just has a big old list. And the first, queer athlete that we know to be queer now, he was kind of, again, like John Curry, like an open secret, but like out to his friends and family, but not publicly, was in like 1956, I think, which is like just so crazy when you kind of think about like the political climate at the time and like the way that gay people were treated. There is a lot of gay figure skaters.
Yeah, figure skating.
It was very gay. But it also does mean like John Curry, like a lot of them sadly passed away from complications of AIDS, and that is kind of, I think, like a bit of Winter Olympics history that is kind of forgotten. It's very gay, going back a long way.
There's a really interesting interview in The Guardian, which Donald McRae did with Robin Cousins, who won gold for Great Britain in 1980, so 4 years after Curry, and was also gay.
And was a judge on Dancing on Ice.
But there's quite a lot of interesting stuff in that about his kind of experiences of, being in figure skating, being gay, and seeing, lots of the people he knew die of AIDS, which I thought, I didn't agree with everything he says within the interview, but it's like quite an interesting, it's worth having a read, I think, if you're like interested in what that kind of world was like and how AIDS like really affected it.
And Gus Kenworthy, who kind of made headlines for having a kiss with his partner at Pyeongchang, has now switched sports, Jessy?
No, he switched teams.
Switched teams.
He's British now.
He's still gay, guys.
We got him.
So he's
British.
He was competing for the US
when he won. He medalled in Sochi in
Okay.
2014. He competed for the US in Pyeongchang as well, and then he
came out in between those two games.
Yeah, and then he switched to the UK or GB. He switched to GB and competed for us in 2022. He then retired. But psych, he's back,
baby.
Wow. And what's his sport? Snowboarding?
He's a freestyle skier.
Freestyle skier. This is the thing about the Winter Olympics. It gets quite confusing when you get into the events because there's the different disciplines, but then there's all the different versions of it.
I really, yesterday, got into like trying to work out the difference in all the figure skating things because me and Dylan have got tickets. I'm very, very excited. We've got tickets for figure skating, and I was like, what the hell are we going to see? And it's team event. So we've got men's short program and ice dance.
Oh, yeah.
And I am so thrilled that we have ice dance because I'm so excited to see them. And there's themes. There's themes. Like, there's themes for the season, and this season is 90s, which is why our GB Icelands are doing Spice Girls.
Yeah, my icons, Lewis Gibson and Lila Fear.
I interviewed Lila Fear yesterday.
Oh,
obsessed with her.
really?
She is great.
Oh my God. So they are actually really good. So they got bronze at the European Championships just in Sheffield with their Spice Girls routine. If you haven't seen it, look up on the BBC website. It's incredible. They could medal. They have a chance of medaling, right?
Yeah, they have a chance of medaling for sure. Not in the team event. The USA will win the team event. But I'm
not sure they're actually even dancing in the ice dance in the team event.
Are they just doing the couples?
Because I think there's
they're definitely participating because Lila's our flag bearer, and she was like, it's incredibly chaotic because she is doing the.
Oh, interesting.
She is doing the team.
It's very chaotic.
Yeah, and they don't have the full entry lists. Out yet, so.
Right. So TBC. But their bronze at the World Championships last year was GB's first world medal since icons Torval and Dean.
Wow.
Icons of British Winter Olympic history. Probably the most known Winter Olympics, apart from sort of Eddie the Eagle, who was like a flop, but known for being a flop. They won gold at what
Sarajevo?
Yeah.
Sarajevo, yeah, I think you're right.
And they were incredible. The Bolero outfit, it's one of a kind. Now they are sort of the face of Dancing on Ice.
Which is kind of how I knew them, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, that's how probably our generation sort of got to know them and then work out more history. But they definitely won some kind of Sports Personality of the Year awards. They won loads.
Figure skaters cleaned up Sports Personality of the Year in the 70s.
They win it
and 80s.
together. I think
they must have won it as a double.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you know what? That actually makes me beg the question, why do we think Winter Olympics doesn't have as much cultural relevance now? I would say
because we're rubbish at it.
Yeah.
Because we're, I think that's it. I think for a start, obviously there's less people who do winter sports here. So you already, I think, lose a little bit of kind of the track and field, everyone's kind of done that at school, right? Not many people go and do curling or skeleton. You also, I think, get the element of, there's been a lot of chat around Team GB that this is the closest to a home Winter Olympics we're probably ever going to get. And there's also kind of question marks on whether we'll ever get a European Winter Olympics again as a result of, climate change and how that's affecting snow in the Alps. And, over the past, it's been a long time since we've had something that's vaguely on our time zone. So I think obviously that impacts it as well. Then we're not very good.
And the funding's changed a lot over the years because as more countries started to get better at things like figure skating, the UK started investing less money in those sorts of things and putting it much more into sort of bobsleigh, skeleton and curling, where you see our most recent medals, which I think is a shame. But it's weird how our significance and success in figure skating has drifted so much from getting a world medal in 2025 to 1984 when we used to clean up in that event. I'm sad about that.
I don't know if we ever particularly cleaned up. I think we had icons
maybe
John Curry, Torval and Dean, icons who did incredible things, but it was never
no, it's not like Russia and US dominance in those sports. I don't know. I just want us to make figure skating great again, guys.
But I will say, I think we have historically not been very good at snow sports, but there is a lot of reason to be excited about some of our snow sports girlies in particular. So there's Kirsty Muir in the freestyle skiing, Zoe Atkin in the freestyle skiing. They're both ones who are worth looking out for. What's the girl snowboarder?
So freestyle skiing, is that like snowboarding in terms of you do flips and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So then there's alpine skiing, which is the downhill stuff, like Lindsey Vonn.
And we must say, this is quite
Sorry,
good
as a
segue.
women's football podcast, I can't, Lindsay, I cannot support this.
So if anyone hasn't seen, this is a great segue to women's football Winter Olympics mesh. Lindsey Vonn is competing at the Winter Olympics with a ruptured ACL. could not be anyone in women's football. Incredible scenes.
And she did it like last week. Like it's like that's like a fresh rupture.
Yeah, I think also the context is so Lindsey Vonn's like very, very iconic skier. She retired.
She's 40.
40, came out of retirement, cleaned up at a load of World Cups, does her ACL, last week, and does this press conference where she's like, I'm going to go for it anyway. I think she's just going to do the downhill, which is on Sunday, if anyone's interested. I still wonder whether she'll scratch before we get there, because I think when she did this press conference, she hadn't tried yet. Yeah. But I think for her, she's like, fuck it. I don't need a knee for the rest of my life. Yeah. I'm going to give this one last go.
You don't need an ACL if you're, like, if you don't want to do sport again. And, like, but if any sport is, like, hard on your knees, it's fucking skiing. Yeah. Like,
well, at least she's not doing moguls.
Oh god.
Like, it's crazy. And I mean, I get it. It's like, it's your last chance. You're 40. Like, go out on a bang. But you're never going to be able to, like, ski for fun ever again.
Yeah, I mean,
but like maybe she feels like she already won't because she's done her ACL at 40. Like, that's so hard to come back from.
She is one of the biggest US and most successful US Olympians of all time. She's such a huge name. Lest we forget when she dated Tiger Woods, and that was crazy because that was like two huge US athletes dating each other. But I feel like if anyone could do it, it's her.
I'm kind of rooting for her now.
If she medalled, it would be
sensational.
Yeah.
ACLs in the mud if she medals.
Can I just do 2 more shout outs?
I was going to say, JPH, sorry, we got onto Lindsey Vonn and ACLs, but any more GB shout outs you want to make?
Well, we're odds on to win skeleton, but there's been drama. Our helmets got banned. Bummer.
Oh, because they're illegal. We've been doing too much technical
but we are going to
tomfoolery.
CAS, so we'll see if we can do that.
It's classic textbook UK. Basically, the only way we can win things is if we pour all the money in technology.
Well,
that's
and
how
also
we became
skeleton
really good at velodrome
is
stuff.
a big arms race. Like, everyone is... Like, the Germans are doing some crazy shit with that.
It's small margins
Can you tell me what skeleton is like? Because I don't...
Going down on the ice really fast on a sled.
But on your back.
Yes,
yeah.
okay,
Rather than... And there's a front version.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's the
the front version. Yeah. Okay.
God, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And they do it. I think they're based in Bath, aren't they? Is where the performance centre is.
Yeah, but they've built a wind tunnel in Manchester as well, which was the big thing that they didn't have before.
Basically, their own Hadron Collider.
But it's so basically. Skeleton's what we've really, really focused on in recent years. And in 2022, they had a bit of a nightmare because they'd again made a lot of like tweaks and stuff. But we don't have a proper skeleton run on ice in the UK. And because of COVID, it'd been very hard to get them to practice at all. We won gold and silver at the World Championships. So that's why we're kind of seen as favourites. But yeah, TBC on what's happening with these helmets.
Hey, Lizzie Arnold, that's the last sort of gold medal I really remember from the Winter Olympics. That was skeleton. And we got to shout out Bex of Spotify HQ.
This gagged me this morning.
Her mate's husband, Greg Cackett, in the GB bobsleigh team.
Love.
Look out for him, guys. If they bring it home, party at Spotify
Greg,
HQ.
get in here.
We're going to get him on the sofa. That would be iconic. Also, want to just talk about kind of general Winter Olympics lore. Anyone who wants to look up and watch great documentaries / movies, Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding is a hell of a story in Winter Olympics history. Essentially, Kerrigan was the favourite in the 94 Winter Olympic Games. Tonya Harding's team organised basically like a hit on her. One of her team...
It's so PSG women.
...hits her knee, busts her knee, can't compete. There's an amazing ESPN 30 for 30 documentary on it. And then, of course, there's the amazing I, Tonya film with Margot Robbie. So I would say, if you're doing any homework pre-Winter Olympics, lock in for those two.
So I am on Winter Olympics hype this week. I, Tonya, I've actually never seen I, Tonya. It's on my list. But what I have done this week is go ice skating.
Love.
Yeah. When did you go ice skating?
It's giving Chris Hughes trying the bobsled and Jojo Siwa being like...
Text me proof of life.
Do you know what there is? There's a curling thing in King's Cross.
I've heard.
Yeah,
I've done that. It's not very good.
Is it boring?
It's fine.
It's kind of fake curling.
Yeah, it's not on ice.
Yeah.
So...
I went ice skating at Lee Valley Ice Rink yesterday lunchtime.
On your own?
No, me and Dylan went. it's so like your unemployed friend on a Wednesday vibe. It was so funny. Like, I haven't been ice skating in like an indoor rink since I was like a teenager.
It's really hard. I've only done it a few
it's so
times.
slippery.
It's horrible. I hate ice skating.
I don't like ice skating.
I've only been like once or twice.
Right. So obviously everybody who's there, there was like barely anyone there. The people that were there
Were really good.
were like doing like jumps and spins and like it was like incredible. Me and Dylan were like, what the hell? And then there was us.
You're holding on to those little penguin things.
No, but there was a couple who were worse than us.
Great.
So that made me feel good. They didn't let go of the railings the whole time.
That would have been me.
I actually got pretty quick. I think I'm pretty good at getting speed up. I can't really stop.
Are you going to go in...
Speed skating?
Maybe I should do speed skating.
Have you got a ticket to the speed skating?
No, but maybe I should.
Apparently that's quite fun.
Yeah, because they go
It's
really
very
fast and then they
chaotic.
crash. Oh yeah, they
it's-
all crash.
It's similar to the velodrome track cycling. There's loads... People get disqualified every 5
Yeah.
minutes. Loads of crashes. Really complicated rules. But it's sort of
It's
just
so funny.
crazy.
Like my image of speed skating in my head is like one person crossing the line on their own because everybody else is like fallen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we went ice skating. It was kind of scary, but also I think it was pretty good. I made Dylan stand on the side and watch me go round. I was like, watch, I can go real quick. And I was like, I'm so impressed by these people. Imagine what I'm going to be like.
Well, I really enjoyed some Team USA content where they got one of the figure skaters and one of the ice hockey players to like try out like
Each
the
other's
different
sport.
bits, and I was
Fun.
like, it was kind of amazing to watch an ice hockey player like. She was pretty good still, like, but how different
Yeah.
it was, even though she also spends like all her time on the ice.
Has anyone watched Ice Princess? The
Yes.
Disney film.
Yes.
Oh, Jesse, go home.
You
and
get it
watch
on
Ice
Disney
Princess.
Plus. It's really bad, but it's good.
I watched it last night in my continuing. I watched Cool Runnings the other day, and then I watched Ice Princess last night. I haven't watched it since I was like a kid on like a dodgy VHS at my nan's house.
Someone big is the mum. Who's the mum?
It's Samantha from Sex and the City.
Yes.
It's like
What?
the
Kim
coach.
Cattrall. Kim Cattrall.
Guys,
Kim
I've been
Cattrall.
binging Sex and the City
Yeah.
all week.
Yeah, this is a perfect segue.
She's so
Sex
good.
City, Ice Princess,
Wow.
Winter Olympics.
In my
she-
mind, Kim Cattrall never did another acting job, so I don't know
Yeah.
if I want to engage.
Yeah, it's in my head. She's Samantha, and she's like settled down in Connecticut and had a daughter. But she also in the film, it's like she went to Sarajevo as like a figure skater, but she like cheated and she got like banned.
It's a
So
good.
is
It's
she meant
hilarious.
to be like Tonya Harding?
I guess maybe yeah.
It might be a sort of But anyway, Jesse, you got to check it out. Couple of other things. Grinder, fun little Grinder update for the gays in the Winter Olympic Village. They've changed it so that you can hide your.
They've got lots of
settings.
special settings for if you want to
Imagine being gay in the Olympics Village. Oh, it's my dream. It's my dream. It's my dream.
And
It
we
must be crazy.
We haven't even talked about probably what lots of people are excited about the Winter Olympics because of heated rivalry is the ice hockey.
Yes.
Guys, crazy. There are like 41 gay athletes at this Winter Olympics. 22 of them are women's ice hockey players.
I love
Wow.
it. I love it. I'm
Over-indexing
really
big time.
excited.
You haven't finished Heated Rivalry.
I know, I've been a bad gay. I'm only like 2 episodes in. I
It's-
just haven't had time.
Flo, you need.
I
like,
know.
This,
You
you need. It's like
to.
it's essential preparation.
I know.
for the
I've
Winter
already
Olympics.
rewatched it.
You've
Yeah.
rewatched the whole thing.
We rewatched episodes 3 to 5
Oh,
specifically.
Perfect.
Yeah.
They're the best ones.
Yeah.
And you did a piece about heated rivalry as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did do a piece about heated rivalry
What
and
was
what
your-
it means.
Boots on the ground
generally for ice hockey.
journalism.
And what was your findings?
Oh, basically that like ice hockey is like incredibly homophobic, and there's this sort of strange tension between the popularity that heated rivalries causing and like new fans coming into the NHL, which desperately needs new fans, and the league kind of riding on the coattails of it when they've been really homophobic in the past. Lots of the ownership are very homophobic, and also then a clash kind of between old fans and new fans, and just how it play out. The PWHL obviously very gay,
Yeah.
lots of fun, and also recommend the ice hockey clubs in the UK. I've heard a lot of people saying the Streatham one is litty.
Yes. So someone invited me to the Streatham one this weekend, but obviously I'm.
Yeah,
in
I
Milan.
really want to go because obviously
Yeah.
it's pretty close to me.
Yeah.
So the Streatham, they have a ice hockey arena.
Yeah, and an ice hockey team. Yeah, I think in
Wow.
the second division they are.
Should we go?
Yes.
Counterpress meetup.
Yeah.
at Streatham Ice Hockey.
Yeah.
Wow, love
But
that.
apparently it's been selling out. There's a girl at my work who like has gone for ages,
Wow.
and apparently now it's crazy because it's like fell out every week.
because of heated
Wow.
rivalry.
Yeah.
So I
They
think
need to kiss on the ice. They need to
it's
really
gonna
lean
be
in.
it's going to be really interesting watching how many people have eyes on the ice hockey competition, the men's ice hockey.
Do you think they
competition.
released heated rivalry now because of the Winter Olympics? Or like it was like the end of last year,
I
wasn't
guess
it? In the US?
it probably doesn't, because ice hockey is popular in the
All
US
year
and
round,
Canada all
yeah.
year round.
It's just
it probably
perfect timing for us specifically
Yes, it's
to get into it.
And what's great about ice hockey at the Olympics, a bit like basketball in the Summer Games, is the pro players play in the teams.
well. This is the first time since Sochi, I think, that the NHL players have been released.
There's always a bit
to
of back
play.
and forth about it. Yeah.
So this ice hockey tournament, the men's one at least, is seen as being very exciting.
Because they don't always release them, they have to have a bit of a negotiation about it. But when they do release them and you get the stars, that's so we've got.
But
heated
obviously no
rivalry,
Russia, which kind of takes away some of the fun.
the rivalry as
Yeah.
well.
There's
The heated
when I was
rivalry.
doing my when I was doing my research, there's I can't remember their names now, but there was a Canadian woman and I think a Finnish. There was always kind of them and the women's. I think maybe I'm wrong. Basically, there was two lesbians who played each other in the final. They were a couple. They played each other in the final, like 2 Olympics on the bounce. Like, we have lesbian heated rivalry at home. Like, come on,
Come on, guys.
we need to back women's ice hockey.
Yeah,
It's
so-
already gay.
So true. And on that note, why don't we segue into our final part of today's show? We're going to pick our WSL players to compete at the Winter Olympics. So the plan is for this. If WSL was a nation,
Yeah.
who would be competing and in which sports? So actually, firstly, what is our anthem going to be for WSL Nation? Feet don't fail me now, Joy Crooks.
Yeah, it has
Please
to be, doesn't it?
Please stand if you're able for the national anthem of the WSL, and then the WSL new logo flies flag above us. Okay, so that's sorted.
A
Easy.
picture of Nikki is projected into the sky.
And then
Our fearless leader.
and then we get onto the sports. So I think there's great variety here, but I want to start, because I'm a big curling head, with the curling girlies. And there's a long Scottish history in curling. So for me, we've got to put our Scottish WSL players in our curling team.
It's
So we've
exactly
got
what I've got.
Kim Little, Erin Cuthbert,
Yeah.
Scottish Sam Kerr, Jenna Clark,
Yes.
Kirsty Smith.
I love it.
We've got to have all the legends,
Yeah.
all the Scots in there. And I think we would probably win because we've got history there. They could learn it quite quickly.
Love
You know,
that.
like,
That's so
I
good.
read this like years ago, but it's like something like all of the curling stones come from like the same mountain.
Yeah, I did read that as well.
It may be in Scotland.
Yeah, somewhere.
It's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
and obviously they're really expensive because like there's one mountain.
Yeah. Anyone got any others?
Yeah. I've got Moonbeam and Moonchester doing ice dance together.
I put Moonbeam with Kirsten Kasparov to do it.
Wow, okay, I didn't realise we were including mascots, but fine. Okay,
Sorry,
that's
Moonbeam-
changed
Just
everything.
Moonbeam is
Moonbeam
so
is-
ice dance coded.
Like, come on.
I also thought, you know who I thought would be good at figure skating? Emily Fox.
I did think that.
she's got a figure skating face.
Yeah.
But she's also quite
And she's
sort of-
American.
she's quite ballerina-y, I find, and I wonder
Classy. She's classy.
Yeah, and I wonder if she'd be quite good as a singles figure skater.
Yeah.
Maybe we need her to competing. Australian Sam Kerr. This came from my brother on the bus yesterday. Ski jump where you do like flips and stuff because she can do
'cause she can
backflips.
flip.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or snowboard.
Well, I had Lotta for some snowboarding just because she's cool and you just know she'd be good at it.
And she's like-
she would just suit
she's
that
like-
vibe.
Yeah. She's got the same thing as like women snowboarders who are straight, which is like, oh, you're not gay?
Yeah.
But you're cool.
But you're cool. You're just cool.
Yeah.
And so I
Cool
assume
straight.
that you're gay. And that's what all women snowboarders have who are straight, and that's what Lotta has.
Downhill skiing, you know who I think be good? Ellie Carpenter. She's quick. She's very strong.
Okay, I had Ellie Carpenter and Alyssa Thompson in the speed skating because I thought they would be fun zoomies.
Yeah, and I actually thought in ice hockey we should maybe recreate USA-Canada rivalry, basically just have Chelsea versus Arsenal in the ice hockey.
Well,
I have Hannah Hampton in goal, as an ice hockey goalie.
I had two sort of slightly different ice hockey things, and it's sort of for former WSL players. Obviously, on the heated rivalry theme, Tobin Heath and Kristen Press.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then for the fighting, obviously a big part, Ruth Littleton.
Fighting for the fighting section.
Yes.
What about that grabbing someone by the neck section?
Because you are just allowed to fight in ice hockey, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you can just punch.
It's part of the rules.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love it.
We also should get in Howard Sissoko.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, I went through a list of WSL players and was like, do you look or have you acted kind of crazy? You're going in my Winter Olympics team, because all of those sports are like, you have to be a bit to throw yourself.
Well, also my Lindsay Vonn inspo for the downhill skiing was which WSL player did I think was most likely to downhill ski without an ACL?
Lucy Bronze.
Yes,
so true.
That
also,
is really good,
I
yeah.
think we need to put some respect on the teams that have lots of Scandi contingent. Everton
I got Beta
and
Olsen
Spurs.
in there as like she could do something. She's Swedish.
Yeah, I think
Chef de Mission.
I think Stina biathlon.
Oh, that's fun.
That's the one where you ski, you get down, you shoot, you get back up again.
I could
Why
really
are
see
you
that for
getting
her.
Stina for accurate shooting?
So true.
I put Lauren Hemp down for that because she's famously like good at a million sports.
Okay, so true. I want to put some of my like Spurs Scandi queens in some of these sports because like Scandi countries always clean up in these events because they have snow. I think we need to disperse some, like Matilda Wimberg, where are you going?
I don't associate
Tamberg, where are you
Swedes with it.
going?
I think I'd be more like thinking of the Norwegians.
The Finns?
Guru Reiten doing some like of the cross country skiing.
Evelina Summanen, where are you going? Olga
Yeah.
Tinen, where are you going?
We need to just grab all of the Norwegian girlies,
Signe
Swedish
Gabset.
girlies, get them in.
Where are you going?
Where are you going, young
Like
sensation?
pick a sport, you can do it.
Yeah.
I would like to put Cool Runnings, Australian bobsleigh team.
Ooh.
So like, I think you're right about Sam Kerr doing some flips, so she can stay over there. So like, Ellie Carpenter,
strong.
Mackenzie Arnold's gone. Names some other
Caitlin
Australians.
Ford.
Caitlin Ford.
Steph
Catley.
Alana Kennedy.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Get in that bobsleigh.
That would be fun. Yeah.
We need you in the bobsleigh.
Aussie 4-man bobsleigh.
I was thinking, given that bobsleigh involves hurtling down ice very fast without having any real idea of how or when you'll stop, and the mistake of doing that, I'm putting Millie Bright and Rachel Daly in my bobsleigh team.
Actually, Cool Runnings, another one for your homework.
Oh,
That's a great film.
So good. I watched it the other day.
and
It's
actually,
just so
we
good.
could put together a WSL Jamaican bobsleigh team. Bonnie
Yeah.
Shaw, Becky Spencer, Drew Spence.
Don't say Taylor Hines.
I was
she
about
ain't
to
going.
say Taylor Hanson and I was like, nope.
We need one more.
Fuck's sake, Taylor.
Taylor.
You've ruined our Jamaican bobsleigh team.
Who's the girlie who used to play for Leicester? Who plays for them?
Shania Hales.
No. But she does. Yeah.
She does. Okay, Shania Hales from Newcastle, 4-man bobsleigh team. God, with Bonnie Shaw in it as well, you catch some speed on that. And then Becky Spencer, I think, would be good at sort of like navigating.
Yeah, she can be the driver.
Yeah, love that.
I say like that. I don't think they do that.
Yeah, it's more
It's
sort of
like
like
you've gotta,
twist
like,
and
yeah.
turn.
The new event. Are we across the new event for the Winter Olympics?
No, what is it?
Skimo.
What's that?
Schemo?
Ski mountaineering.
Oh. So you have like
you
a map.
run with your skis up the mountain.
Oh,
Get your skis on.
oh, that sounds horrible.
Straight back down.
But can I ask, is it sort of one of those ones where navigating is part of the challenge, so you don't know what the map is?
I
Or no?
don't believe so. No.
Okay.
You
It's
just,
get
gotta
out.
fucking
You just
sprint
gotta
up that
go.
mountain.
Wow.
I was thinking Ruby Mace.
Yeah.
Just feels like someone who's physical, can do like different things. You can put her in defence, you can put her in midfield. Just feel like she'd be like ready to go, efficient,
Wow.
skis on.
Kind of random, but I rate it.
Yeah, I don't know. She just came to mind when I was
Yeah.
imagining it.
Yeah. I really hope that we actually find out some random Winter Olympics lore related to WSL players. You know, like Stina's was really good at handball, and her stepsister's like a handball player. I want sort of
Nina.
so Nina.
I still got that.
Stina and Nina.
I want so and so to have a really good history in figure skating, and we just find this out as a result of a bit of Winter Olympic stuff. Because someone's got to have that. There are some girlies who did some, random sports. As
I think the
kids.
thing that's hard sometimes is a lot of the winter sports, or especially with British people at least going into the winter sports, they're sort of recruited often from
Yeah.
being not as good at our normal sports.
Mm.
So I think I was looking through the bobsleigh team, and there's like a guy who played rugby, and there's like a former sprinter.
Interesting.
And so I guess that's sometimes hard. It's like people tend to get into these sports because they're kind of pushed
Well,
into
it's like
them.
in Cool Runnings where he doesn't make it as a sprinter to the Olympics.
Yeah, that often happens. Like the way the UK sport do their sort of like talent pathway is they basically find
They're like,
people
"Ooh,
who
we'll have
aren't going to
you."
make it, and then say, "Oh, you're really quick. Let's repurpose you." So, Montel, can't remember her last name. She's currently in Gladiators, and she was on Strictly. She used to be a track and field star, and then she moved into bobsleigh, and then she moved into Gladiators. But
Wow.
she went to the
What a
Winter
career.
Olympics, I think, as a 2-man women's team. And often, yeah, because you want that strength in your legs, and that is that explosive
What would
power.
we do? Us three.
I'm just not very sporty.
I'm definitely not snow. I can't
Maybe
I
it's
can't ski.
curling.
I would love to do curling. I've always wanted to try it. I think
Too
it'd
much
be
of
really
a
fun.
scaredy cat for skiing and
I think speed
snowboarding.
skating, I think, after yesterday is going to be
No,
mine. And they
I
wear...
wanna-
Sorry, I actually can't say... You can beat that out. They wear beep little outfits. Like, it's like full, like...
I mean,
Lycra.
speaking of beep, the GB winter jumpers
Ooh.
that Lila Fear was wearing on the call yesterday, gorgeous.
I can't wait to get into that merch
Is that
shop.
an Adidas number?
I assume so.
Oh, can you get your
Yeah.
hands on it?
I don't. I feel like it's one of those athlete things. Yeah, Lila Fear and Brad Hall, because they're our flag bearers, were wearing them. They looked lovely.
The ones that really rocked my world were the Pyeongchang North Face designed South Korea kits. Oh my god, they were so good. I wanted to buy them because they were so cool, but you couldn't really get your hands on them anywhere. There's always good merch. Jessy, we're going to need your merch updates.
I will merch
throughout.
Boots
review.
on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Maybe I'll
that,
try and make a TikTok.
that means that neither of you are going to be here on Monday, guys, because you're going to be living it
Who are you
up.
getting in?
Julie's going to be here, and
Love.
Moyo, who
lovely.
came on during the
Fun.
Euros, is coming in. We'll get some Manchester United chat as well. Obviously, the big game this weekend, we've got Arsenal City, and we've got Spurs Chelsea, which carries a bit more weight now that Sonia's a little bit under pressure.
Well, I'm leaving the country, so I don't care. In fact, though, I will be watching Spurs Chelsea with maybe the worst, most rattled person in the world about Chelsea. So
That's going to be interesting.
I could potentially prefer to be in the country.
Well, we'll leave that there. We hope you enjoyed our sort of, detour from our usual programming today. But we're very excited about the Winter Olympics, and I'm sure loads of you are going to be locked in and excited as well. So yeah, kicks off on Friday. Jessy's going to be there. Becky's going to be there. I won't be there. I'll be watching from home. But have the best time, guys. We will see you all on Monday. See you then.